Weston Harper had always prided himself on blending in. Growing up in the sprawling suburbs of Chicago, he'd learned early on that being gay meant navigating a world of subtle glances and unspoken rules. But at 28, as the founder of a booming tech startup called Aerotech, specializing in AI-driven flight optimization software, he thought he'd outgrown the need to hide. That illusion shattered on Flight 247 from O'Hare to LAX. It started innocently enough. Weston boarded the plane with his boyfriend, Liam, a freelance photographer with an infectious smile and eyes like warm caramel. They'd been together for 2 years, a relationship built on late-night coding sessions and spontaneous road trips across the Midwest. This trip was supposed to be a celebration. Weston had just closed a multi-million-dollar deal with a major airline, ironically the same one they were flying, Skylink Airways. Liam had insisted on coming along for the LA meetings, turning business into a mini vacation. As the plane taxied down the runway, Weston reached over and intertwined his fingers with Liam's. It was a simple gesture, one they'd shared countless times in private. But a middle-aged woman across the aisle noticed, her face twisting into a mask of disapproval. She whispered something to the flight attendant, who then hovered over them like a storm cloud. "Sirs, we have a family-friendly policy," the attendant said, her voice clipped and professional, but her eyes screaming judgment. "Please refrain from public displays." Weston felt his cheeks burn. "Public displays? We're holding hands." "That's it." The attendant straightened. "I've received complaints. If you can't comply, we'll have to involve security upon landing." But it didn't wait until landing. Midway through the flight, over the vast plains of Kansas, the captain's voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're making an unscheduled stop in Denver due to a passenger disturbance." Weston's heart pounded. "Disturbance?" He exchanged a bewildered look with Liam, who squeezed his hand tighter. "This can't be about us," Liam murmured. It was. When the plane touched down, 2 burly airport security officers boarded, marching straight to their row. "Mr. Harper, you're being removed for violating airline conduct policies." "What policies?" Weston demanded, his voice rising. Passengers murmured, some sympathetic, others smirking. One man in a cowboy hat muttered, "Faggots ruining everything." The guards didn't wait for an answer. One grabbed Weston's arm, hauling him up. Liam tried to intervene. "Hey, wait. This is insane." But the other guard blocked him. "Stay seated, or you're next." Weston was dragged down the aisle, his carry-on tumbling behind him. Humiliation burned through him like wildfire. Phones flashed, capturing every degrading second. By the time they dumped him in the Denver terminal, news crews were already swarming. "Gay couple targeted on Skylink flight." The headlines would scream later. Liam joined him shortly after, fuming. "They let me off voluntarily. Said it was for my safety." He pulled Weston into a hug, but Weston pushed away gently, his mind reeling. "This isn't just about us," Weston said, his voice trembling with rage. "This is systemic. Skylink's got a history of this crap. Remember that trans woman they booted last year?" They spent the night in a drab airport hotel, Liam trying to console him with room service and bad rom-coms. But Weston couldn't sleep. He paced the room, his entrepreneurial brain kicking into overdrive. Aerotech was on the cusp of an IPO. His net worth was skyrocketing. What if? By morning, Weston had a plan. "I'm not suing them," he told Liam over coffee. "I'm buying them." Liam choked on his sip. "Buy Skylink? That's a multi-billion-dollar company." "Not the whole thing, at first. But with the right investors, I can start with a controlling stake. Turn it around from the inside." It was audacious, even for Weston. But the fire in his gut wouldn't extinguish. He called his lawyer, then his board. The media frenzy helped. Viral videos painted Skylink as bigots, their stock dipping 5% overnight. Back in Chicago, Weston threw himself into the acquisition. He courted venture capitalists in sleek downtown offices, pitching not just profits, but purpose. Imagine an airline where everyone flies free from judgment. That's where he met Alex Rivera. Alex was a consultant from a rival firm, brought in to crunch numbers. Tall, with sun-kissed skin from his Miami roots and a laugh that filled rooms, Alex was openly gay and unapologetically fierce. Their first meeting sparked something electric. "You're really doing this for revenge?" Alex asked, leaning over spreadsheets in Weston's loft office overlooking Lake Michigan. "Not revenge," Weston replied, meeting his gaze. Justice. And maybe a little revolution. Alex smiled, his dark eyes twinkling. Count me in. As weeks turned to months, Weston and Alex grew close. Late nights poring over financials led to shared dinners, then stolen kisses under the city lights. Liam noticed the shift, but Weston brushed it off as work stress. Alex is just a colleague, he'd say, guilt gnawing at him. The acquisition gained momentum. Weston secured funding from progressive billionaires, including a tech mogul who'd faced his own discrimination battles. Skylink's board, reeling from bad press, entertained offers. But cracks appeared. Liam confronted Weston one stormy evening. You're never home. Is it him? Alex. Weston hesitated, and that was answer enough. Liam, things changed after the flight. I need someone who gets this fight. Tears streamed down Liam's face. I was there with you. Dragged off too, in a way. The breakup was brutal, a storm of accusations and regrets. Liam moved out, leaving Weston alone with his ambition and Alex. With Liam gone, Weston dove deeper into the acquisition, Alex by his side. Their relationship blossomed amid the chaos, a whirlwind of passion and purpose. Alex moved into Weston's penthouse, their days filled with strategy sessions, nights with tangled sheets and whispered dreams. You're my anchor, Weston told Alex one morning as they watched the sunrise over the Chicago skyline. Alex kissed him softly. And you're my fire. But the path to buying Skylink was fraught with obstacles. The airline CEO, Harlan Graves, a grizzled Texan with a reputation for conservative values, fought back viciously. He leaked stories to the press, radical activists trying to hijack American skies. Protests erupted outside Aerotech's offices, egged on by right-wing pundits. Weston faced personal attacks too. Anonymous threats arrived via email. Fags don't belong in the cockpit or boardrooms. One night, his car was vandalized with slurs spray-painted across the hood. Alex urged caution. We can back out. It's not worth your safety. But Weston was undeterred. If we back down, they win. This is bigger than us. The turning point came at a shareholders' meeting in Dallas. Weston flew down, ironically on a competitor's airline, to present his bid. The room buzzed with tension, suits and ties masking underlying prejudices. Graves sneered from the podium. Mr. Harper wants to turn Skylink into a rainbow parade. We serve families, not agendas. Weston stood tall, his voice steady. Skylink serves Americans, all of them. Discrimination isn't just wrong, it's bad business. My software can boost efficiency by 20%, but only if we foster inclusion. The vote was close, but Weston's coalition prevailed. He acquired a 51% stake, becoming the majority owner. Cheers erupted from his team. Graves stormed out, vowing revenge. Victory tasted sweet, but bittersweet. That night, in a swanky Dallas hotel, Alex proposed a toast. To new beginnings. Weston clinked glasses, but doubt crept in. Was this really about justice? Or had his ego taken over? And what about Liam? Rumors reached him that Liam was struggling, drowning sorrows in LA bars. Guilt festered. Weston confided in Alex during a quiet moment. I betrayed Liam. Pushed him away when he needed me most. Alex held him. We all make mistakes. Focus on the good you're doing. Under Weston's leadership, Skylink transformed. He implemented LGBTQ+ training for staff, partnered with advocacy groups, and launched pride-themed flights. Stock rebounded. Passengers praised the changes. But shadows loomed. Alex began acting distant, taking secretive calls. Weston dismissed it as stress, until one evening he overheard a conversation. Yes, Harlan, the intel's solid. We'll sink him from within. Betrayal hit like a gut punch. Alex was a mole, planted by Graves to sabotage the deal. The passion? A ploy. Confrontation exploded in their penthouse. How could you? Weston yelled, tears blurring his vision. Alex's face crumpled. It started as a job. But I fell for you, for real. I couldn't go through with it. Lies. Weston spat. Get out. Alex left, leaving Weston shattered. The next day, leaks surfaced. Fabricated scandals about Weston's lavish lifestyle, funded by company money. Stock plummeted again. In the midst of crisis, Weston reached out to Liam, flying to LA on a red-eye. He found him in a modest apartment, looking worn but resilient. I'm sorry, Weston said, voice breaking. I was a fool. Liam listened, then sighed. You hurt me, Wes. But I see what you're building. It's important. They talked for hours, rekindling old flames amid the ashes. Liam agreed to help with PR, using his photography skills to humanize the story. Together, they exposed Alex's scheme. Graves was implicated in corporate espionage, leading to his arrest. Skylink stabilized, emerging stronger. But Weston's heart remained torn. Alex turned himself in, testifying against Graves in exchange for leniency. In court, their eyes met, regret in Alex's, forgiveness flickering in Weston's. The trial in federal court was a media circus, broadcast live from Dallas. Weston sat in the gallery, his stomach knotted as Alex took the stand. Dressed in an ill-fitting suit, Alex looked smaller, haunted. Mr. Rivera, describe your role, the prosecutor asked. Alex glanced at Weston. I was hired by Harlan Graves to infiltrate Weston Harper's team, gather dirt, undermine the acquisition. Gasps rippled through the room. Weston felt Liam's hand on his knee, steadying him. They'd reconnected platonically at first, but emotions surged back. Liam had forgiven, but trust rebuilt slowly. And did you succeed? The prosecutor pressed. No, Alex said firmly. I fell in love. I destroyed the evidence instead. The defense tore into him, painting Alex as an opportunist. But evidence mounted, emails, wire transfers from Graves. In the end, Graves was convicted of fraud and conspiracy, sentenced to 5 years. Alex got probation, community service. After the verdict, Weston approached Alex outside the courthouse. The Texas sun beat down, mirroring the heat in their exchange. Why? Weston asked simply. Alex's eyes welled. Fear. Graves threatened my family. But you showed me courage. They parted with a hug, bittersweet closure. Weston returned to Chicago with Liam, their bond deeper, scarred but stronger. Rebuilding Skylink became Weston's legacy. He diversified the board, hiring diverse executives. Pride Month saw rainbow liveries on planes, donations to LGBTQ+ charities. Personally, Weston and Liam navigated therapy, addressing the betrayal's wounds. We're not the same, Liam said one night, curled on the couch. But maybe better. Weston nodded. I love you for real this time. Highs and lows followed. A conservative backlash boycotted Skylink, but progressive allies surged. Profits soared as millennials flocked to the inclusive Airline. One crisp autumn day, Weston proposed to Liam atop the Willis Tower, Chicago's wind whipping around them. Will you fly with me forever? Liam's yes echoed through the city. But life threw curveballs. Liam's photography career took off, leading to assignments abroad. Distance tested them, echoing old insecurities. During one separation, Weston faced a health scare. A routine check revealed a heart murmur, stress-induced. Alone in the hospital, he reflected on his journey, from humiliated passenger to industry titan. Liam rushed back, holding his hand through recovery. You don't have to conquer the world alone, he whispered. Weston sold a portion of his stake, stepping back as CEO to focus on philanthropy. He founded the Harper Foundation, aiding LGBTQ+ youth in rural America, places where being gay still meant isolation. Years passed. Weston and Liam married in an intimate ceremony on a California beach, waves crashing like applause. Friends from all walks attended. Tech moguls, airline staff, even reformed allies. Alex sent a card. Proud of you. Keep soaring. The story circled back one fateful flight. Weston boarded a Skylink plane as a passenger, incognito. He held Liam's hand openly. No glances, no whispers. A young gay couple nearby smiled, inspired. In that moment, Weston knew. Change wasn't just corporate, it was human. Yet, shadows of the past lingered. A news alert pinged, similar incidents on other airlines. The fight continued. Weston turned to Liam. Ready for round 2? Liam grinned. Always. Their love, forged in fire, became a beacon. In America's vast skies, where prejudice once grounded dreams, they flew free. Proof that resilience and romance could rewrite destinies. Decades later, Weston Harper looked back on that dragged-off moment as the pivot of his life. Now in his 50s, silver threading his hair, he sat in the boardroom of the expanded Harper Aviation Group, Skylink rebranded and thriving. Liam, ever the artist, had captured their story in a best-selling photo memoir, Wings of Change. But success didn't erase scars. Weston mentored young entrepreneurs, sharing tales of betrayal and triumph. Love isn't always linear, he'd say. Sometimes it's a turbulent flight. One mentee, a bright-eyed kid named Jordan from Oklahoma, reminded Weston of his younger self, closeted, ambitious. Jordan faced family rejection after coming out. Weston offered him an internship, then more. Build your own empire. I'll back you. Through the foundation, Weston funded shelters, scholarships, and advocacy. He testified before Congress on airline equality, his voice carrying the weight of experience. Liam's health faltered in their golden years, a cancer diagnosis that shook them. Weston took leave, nursing him through chemo in their lakeside home. You pulled me through once, Liam joked weakly. My turn to lean. Nights were raw, filled with memories. Remember Denver? Weston asked, holding Liam's frail hand. How could I forget? The day you became a warrior. Liam passed peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. Weston grieved deeply, the world dimmer without his anchor. But in loss, he found purpose anew. He traveled America, speaking at Pride events from San Francisco to Atlanta. In small towns, he met folks who'd flown Skylink post-reform, feeling seen for the first time. One encounter stood out. A retired flight attendant from that infamous flight approached him at a book signing. I was wrong, she said tearfully. You changed me. Forgiveness flowed. We all grow, Weston replied. In his will, Weston left the company to a trust ensuring inclusive policies forever. His fortune fueled global LGBTQ+ rights. On his final days, Weston boarded a plane one last time, a solo trip to scatter Liam's ashes over the Grand Canyon, symbolizing freedom. As the aircraft ascended, Weston reflected, from dragged-off humiliation to owning the skies, his life was a testament to resilience. Betrayal had stung, but love, deep, messy, human, had healed. The canyon's vastness below mirrored his journey's scope. We did it, Liam, he whispered to the wind. Weston's story inspired generations, a narrative of kintsugi, broken pieces mended with gold. In America's evolving tapestry, he wove threads of acceptance, proving one man's stand could lift many. The end wasn't tragic, it was profoundly human. Weston passed in his sleep, dreams filled with open skies and open hearts. Epilogue. Today, Skylink planes bear a subtle rainbow stripe, a quiet nod to the man who refused to be grounded. Passengers hold hands freely, love soaring unchecked. In a nation still grappling with equality, Weston's legacy endures, a reminder that from the depths of discrimination, revolutions rise.